How you guys doing today? We all have rights during a traffic stop. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to understand what our rights are during a traffic stop, so I want to provide you with a little bit of basic information so that you have a better idea if you get into a traffic stop and you have to engage with the police officer. At least you can have an idea of what your rights are. First of all, our rights come from the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, so that's what we're going to talk about in our baseline here. Look out for the other videos that discuss various tips to consider when you're engaging with a traffic stop. But let's go ahead and just start off with what are our rights, where do they come from? Okay, so they come from the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. There, we're talking about your particular privacy interests. If you don't take a particular interest in your own privacy, no one else is going to. So privacy interests, what are we talking about? You're talking about the interest of your own body, property that you have, your home, even any documents, papers that you may have, persons, houses, papers, or effects, those things. So privacy interest there, and we're really talking about your own personal privacy interests. If you are trying to defend the privacy interests of your neighbor, I'm sorry, that's not going to work. It's generally not going to work. So you need to really focus on your own privacy. If you're not asserting your own privacy rights, then no one else will. The next thing here is searches or seizures, where you're protecting your own privacy rights against searches or seizures. All right. So what is a search? A search is going to be any type of invasion on your particular privacy. A seizure is any type of restraint of your particular movement. Either you're arrested or there is some show of authority. And there's some show of authority. It may be considered. I've been surrounded by police officers. They got their hands on their guns. I felt like I couldn't move. All right, a seizure. They prevented me from moving forward. All right. Fourth Amendment. In each type of Fourth Amendment situation, whether or not there's some type of invasion of privacy from the government, you're going to be paying attention to whether or not that search or seizure was reasonable. The idea of reasonableness is taking into a bunch of different factors regarding your particular situation. The more information that you provide, the more facts that you provide, the more information about your particular situation that you provide, it's a better opportunity for someone, in this case, it would be the government or the police officer to make up a story of why it was reasonable to go ahead and search your particular privacy. Okay, and so that's going to be up to you to determine how much information that you want to provide. But understand that searches must be reasonable. What's an unreasonable search? Unreasonable search is really going to be considered. If they don't have a warrant to search your privacy. All right, and warrants must contain probable cause. So let's go ahead and talk about what probable cause is. Probable cause is would a reasonable person have believed that a crime had been committed at this point. And you're really looking at this subjective idea, but mostly it's going to be this objective criteria, and that's going to still be involved in this reasonableness aspect. Subjective meaning whether or not you believed that there was evidence of a crime that was being committed here. Objectively, the one that's most important is whether or not a third person, your neighbor, your friend, someone observing the situation would have believed a crime was committed here. And so it's not really going to be it's mostly not going to be based on whether or not you felt your particular rights were violated or whether or not you believe that there was reason. And so since you are the one who is controlling your own particular privacy rights, it's going to be best to go ahead and consider whether or not your behaviors are how they are displaying towards others. All right, so you want to go ahead and keep that in mind. So what we have here is privacy interest, whether or not there was a search or seizure upon your privacy interests, whether or not that search or seizure was a reasonable one, and whether or not probable cause was present. Remember, the probable cause is necessary in order to get a warrant. There actually are exceptions to the warrant requirement. There's also some times where probable cause is not necessary. Look out for future videos containing that content. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to be notified of future videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.